24 hours is all it took for the content that I'm going to be delivering at Different to have a transforming impact on someone's life. I had that message this week. Another person messaged me saying, I've been looking for this all my life. Somebody who is seasoned, somebody who's had so much life experience, yet they've discovered a depth to who they are that is now starting to impact what they do. Somebody else said that they've experienced a 360-degree turnaround in some of the people that are working for them as a result of this content. I don't want you to miss it. I want us all to get together on the 23rd of March and to learn together as we do a deep dive on our identity, but then also to be part of a conversation and a collaboration that I believe is going to expand our vision for how you can start to impact and influence the sector, the area of society that you are currently outworking your gifts, talents, and acquired skills. So hey, I shared on a recent video along the lines of Frodo and the Hobbit and Bilbo Baggins and the journey that they went on, you know, the kind of underdog person, the underdog character that they were and how they came through to have an impact on their world. It's amazing, isn't it? There's something about the underdog that moves us. We watch programs, whether they are reality TV programs, talent spotting programs, and somebody walks onto the stage and they look like there's nothing special about them. Then they open their mouth and we just, wow, where has that been? Why have you kept that hidden? We look at stories from the past, even things like the Jamaican bobsleigh team who entered into the Winter Olympics. Nobody gave them a hope or a chance, and then they started to amaze everyone with their passion, their drive to win. There's so many stories, even in some of the most influential figures. People like Nelson Mandela, who spent 26 years in obscurity, locked in a prison cell. And yet during that period of obscurity, something was happening that was going to transform our world. You see, that's the common theme here, is that greatness and significance has to endure a period of obscurity where it is hidden, and in that process, something special is taking place. The challenge is, though, during obscurity, we can make choices and decisions and come to a conclusion that nothing's happening, there's nothing special in me, there's nothing significant about me, and we can end up settling for sameness, for the predictable status quo. But I want to challenge you, because you, just like me, see ourselves, you see yourself as the underdog. You see yourself as maybe someone who is predestined for sameness, predestined for what has always been. You're living your today based upon a replaying of the past. But on this day in March, I'm going to get you to start to come up with a clarity of the future that is going to shift you from replaying your past to pre-playing your future. What would life look like if you entered into each day pre-playing your future and allowing your future to pull you out of the present from a place of predictability into the unpredictable nature of the change that you are alive to deliver? You see, following the story of Bilbo Baggins and anybody who has been through a period of obscurity and then delivered great change, this is what it looks like. You see, what happens is, here's Bilbo, here's you, here's me. You have to pardon my artwork. It's not tremendous. Here we are in the present reality. And in the present reality, inside of you and inside of me, we tend to base our judgment of the future on what we currently know. But on the 23rd of March, we're going to start to discover what the future possibility is. If I'm spelling things wrong, please forgive me. The future possibility of what could be, of what you could be part of what together we could be part of. And as we start to see this, it inspires us. It starts to draw us towards it. But let me warn you, just as with any person of significance, there's a journey that has to happen in you in order for the change to come through you. As we look at Bilbo and as we look at the whole story of anybody involved in any form of transformative change, there's a period, first of all, of the possible. So something that is bubbling inside of us. Perhaps I'm the person to produce a change in education. Perhaps I'm the person to take my annoyance about the business world or my annoyance about the healthcare industry. Perhaps I'm the person to bring about change in that area. But what happens next is this. There becomes a paradox. Because while there's one part of us that sees a future that could be different, there's another part of us, a gravitational pull that says, you know what, who am I to make a difference? Who am I to bring about this change? Because no one knows you like you know you. But that can work against you. It can work against me. Just as the person who walks onto the stage and people are saying to them, why have you kept this hidden? It's because they don't hear the internal conversation of that person 24/7 and the battle between I am and I'm not. I can and I can't. I will and I won't. I have and I haven't. And there's this civil war inside the nation of you and the nation of me that is taking place. And unfortunately for the majority of people, the side that wins is the side that says, I'm not, I can't, I won't, and I haven't. And we remain in obscurity. How much transformative change was there in every person that has been on this planet, but it never came to fruition? Because obscurity, the present reality, told them you can't produce anything of significant change. Or stay in a place of comfort. Create a boutique life. You see, that's the challenge I think that we have in the Western world. I think there's a greater sense of aspiration to some degree where people, go out there and build a better life for yourself. But let me say right now, success is not the summit. Success is something that you pass on the way to the summit, but the summit is significance. And significance is pushing beyond boutique to actually, how am I going to produce a disruption in the status quo? And that's what this day is about. I'm challenging those of you who have settled for a boutique lifestyle to say, hey, do you know what? It's time to push on to significance. This may be for you and you're coming up to retirement. Listen, right now you've got tremendous experience and richness in you, but it's time to ask the question, how is all that you've been through, both the pain and the progress, going to start pointing you toward your significant legacy that you're going to leave? So these are the questions that we're going to be answering. So this is paradox, because as I see the future, it looks disproportionate to where I am right now. And then here's the place which is the crux of the journey. It's the place of pain. It's the point where the internal change that I've got to go through feels so overwhelming that it's a lot easier in that moment to go back up the mountain where I came from, to the familiar, to the comfortable, than it is to push through to the unfamiliar and to the future possibility. This is where you need, as Bilbo and Frodo had, the fellowship. You need a fellowship. You need a group of people who are also of same mindset and have the same spirit, who are going to challenge you and encourage you and champion you. And again, March the 23rd is about starting to create an environment that can champion the change that is in you. And of course, lots of people, in my experience, end up saying the pain is too much. I'd rather go back up this mountain. You can see the side of this mountain. What this is who I think I am. It's the deconstruction of my old identity. But this is constructing who I was born to be. You see, it's a lot easier staying in the old self-concept of who you believe you are than it is to push through into the butterfly from the caterpillar of who you were born to be. But here we're championing you, we're cheering you on, saying it's time to push through. Why? Because the future possibility, the people who are going to be affected by this change need you to push through. And that's where perseverance comes in. Perseverance. You've got the seed of change in you, but it's the seed that perseveres that ends up producing the fruit. It's the seed that ends up dying in the moment of pain and saying, I can't keep going. It's that seed that ends up not bearing fruit, not producing the change that was intended for it. And then, of course, the result of that is progress. Progress requires pain. But the thing that will pull you through pain is the future possibility, constantly clarifying that. And you know what? My job is to help you form your part of history. In what way is your life going to make a difference 500 years from now? In what way are people going to be thankful that you were alive or that we were alive? Come on, the story is still being written. There's still time to move on to the next chapter to discover who you really were born to be and to get into a fellowship of people who have the same desire to produce change. Come on, I want you to book in. There's lots of people from different sectors jumping on board, going to be there on the day. It's truly starting to become a global group. People are becoming interested from other countries. And this is going to be a founder's day, because this is going to be the start of a journey. Why don't you be one of the founding voices that's going to be present on that day? So why not visit GarethMorgan.tv, get your ticket today, and let's see you at the Intercontinental. Love to see you there.